Today we're going to be looking at absolutely every new piece of food that's been added in the Mistlands update. I'll go through how you can get the ingredients for these foods as well as how they are cooked and the stats that they give you. Let me know down in the comments what you think your perfect combination of food is going to be now that Mistlands is out. This video is sponsored by G-Portal, who host servers for a huge range of games at affordable prices. If you'd like to check them out and save yourself 10%, there is a link in the description. So let's start with the simplest of the new foods, and that's the Jotun Puffs and also the Mage Caps. And these are the Jotun Puffs you see right here, so they can just be picked up from the Mistlands biome. And here we see the Mage Caps, and those two are easy to just go and pick up from the Mistlands biome. Now on top of that, the Mage Caps and Jotun Puffs can both be farmed, and if you'd like to see a full farming guide for these, I'll put a link to the video I made in the description. As for their stats, you'll see here the Jotun Puffs do a health and stamina of 25 each, and the Mage Caps do the same, but also give an Eitr of 25. Eitr is the new stat added in Mistlands, which refers to magic. Essentially, if I eat one of these, you'll see that I get a purple bar that starts to fill up in the same way that a stamina bar does, and this gives me my ability to use magical spells. Every spell that I use will start to deplete the Eitr, and to get more Eitr, I'll need to eat more food. Just like stamina, once you've eaten a load of food, if you use some of the stamina up, the stamina will then start to regenerate, and Eitr does the same. So just mentioning that because there are a few foods that you'll see today that do provide Eitr, but if you want to see a full guide on the new Mistlands magic, again, I'll put a link in the video description. Now, whilst the Jotun Puffs and the Mage Caps are not fantastic food resources in and of themselves, they are used in a number of ingredients for other more complex meals which are better for you, and we'll get onto those of course later on in this video. The next simple food we're going to look at is the cooked egg right here. You'll see this gives a health of 35 and a stamina of 12. Now this isn't very much at all, and it's kind of interesting because getting eggs isn't actually all that simple. In order to get an egg in the first place, you have to kill Yagloof in order to unlock the egg trade at Haldor the Trader. You can then buy eggs from him which hatch into chickens and can be bred. If you'd like to see more information on chicken breeding, I covered it in my Mistlands tips and tricks video, which I will link in the description. That being said, once you do have some eggs that you're ready to cook up, you'll need a cauldron just at level 1 or higher. So you simply go to the cauldron, and the recipe is as you'd expect. One egg will give you one cooked egg. Now the uncooked eggs are actually used in other food as well, but the cooked eggs, that's it. Once you've cooked them, that's all they're good for. So an interesting food choice. I'm not sure if you'd use this one, but let me know in the comments if you think you found a use for it. So I said we could use eggs for other things, and the mushroom omelette is a very good new food item that we can make using eggs and also Jotun Puffs. You see it gives a stamina of 85, which is fantastic, and also a health of 28 with 3 HP per tick healing. It does however require the cauldron to be level 5. So to get the cauldron at level 5, you need to place it around the 3 current cauldron upgrades. The way it works is the cauldron goes down and that's it at level 1. Then when you add the upgrades, so we've got for example the butcher's table right here, we've got our spice rack and our pots and pans. Each one of those adds 1 level, meaning right now it'd be at level 4. However, you then get it to level 5 with the mortar and pestle. This is the new cauldron upgrade added in the Mistlands update. In order to make it, you'll see here you need 8 black marble, 6 fine wood and 4 core wood. And this is kind of nice because it means it's something we can make relatively early in the game. Even if you're not really fully ready to explore Mistlands yet, if you don't have enough gear, you could easily go in and get black marble and then you'd be able to make this. And so these mushroom omelettes are just made up in the cauldron once you have it upgraded to level 5. One really awesome new food in the Mistlands update is this right here. This is the Mistshare Supreme. And as you can see, it gives a health of 85 and stamina of 28 with 5 HP per tick. So that is excellent. Now in order to make the Mistshare Supreme, you start by making the uncooked version in the cauldron. This again requires a cauldron at level 5, and you need to get hare meat, Jotun Puffs and carrots. You can of course get the hare meat simply by killing the hares, which you'll find in the Mistlands biome. Now once you have an uncooked Mistshare Supreme, you can go ahead and put it into the oven, and over time this will cook, and then of course you'll get this right here, the cooked version, and it'll be ready to eat. So it's a bit more work to get that one, but of course you do get a very excellent food out of it in the end. Now for the health conscious Vikings out there, we do have a new salad in the game, and we get 3 salads every time we make these up. You see you require the cauldron at level 5, then you need 3 each of the Jotun Puffs, onions and cloudberries. And that does of course give you a stamina of 80, so very high stamina for that one, and the health of 26. Another new complex food that's been added is the honey glazed chicken. You see there a health of 80 and a stamina of 26, so quite a strong food in the game. So you make an uncooked honey glazed chicken in the cauldron, and again it will need to be level 5 in order for that to work, and you'll need 1 chicken meat, 3 honey and 2 of the Jotun Puffs. The uncooked honey glazed chicken then goes into the oven to be cooked, and when it is cooked of course comes out just like this here. Now probably the best new food item in the game, although I'm sure people will debate this, and do let me know in the comments, but this right here is very strong. It's the fish and bread. So you see there a health of 30 and a stamina of 90, making it the biggest stamina item in the game. Now we can see here on the crafting menu that the uncooked fish and bread says that we're going to require an anglerfish and a bread dough. On top of that, you'll need the cauldron level 5. So that'll make you up the uncooked fish and bread, and then you go and put that in the oven in order to cook it. Now this one could potentially change, guys, as at the moment it's not currently working in the game as we're not able to get the anglerfish just yet. Of course, Mistlands is not yet released to the full public and they're still doing testing on it, so this is probably one of the things that they are working on. Now I'm pretty sure what will happen is you'll be able to get anglerfish, and I'm definitely going to do a full fishing guide once all the bugs and that have been worked out. And then you'll just make it in the cauldron like we've done with all the other food and then cook it in the oven. But that's the stage we're currently at. Now another very strong food they've added to the game is the meat platter. You'll see that gives a health of 80 and a stamina of 26. So you make the uncooked meat platter in the cauldron at level 5 once more, and you need 1 seeker meat, 1 lox meat, and 1 hare meat. And you guessed it, you cook that in the oven and you end up with this right here. When you kill these seekers in the Mistlands biome, you can get this from their drops, and this here is seeker meat. And if you have a lit fire underneath the iron cooking station, you can go ahead and put your seeker meat on there in order to cook it. And there we go, it's been cooked, so we can go ahead and collect that. And as you'll see right here, we get 60 health and 20 stamina from this. Incidentally, this cannot be cooked on the wooden cooking station. It does have to be on the iron one. Now you'll get hare meat from killing the hares in the Mistlands biomes, of course, and they are used for food recipes. However, you can just cook it straight up again on the iron cooking station. These also do not work on the wooden cooking stations. It does have to be the iron. And if we go ahead and pick that one up, you'll see that from the cooked hare meat, you get a health of 60 and a stamina of 20. Once you've got into breeding chickens, you can of course get several drops from them, and one of them is this chicken meat here, which then needs to be cooked. As you'll see here, we can go ahead and cook the chicken meat just on the normal wooden cooking stand. And if we try to put it on the iron cooking stand, you'll see it will also work on there. So you can actually cook this one on either of the 2 cooking stations. So once it's cooked, you'll see here that this gives you a health of 60 and a stamina of 20. Now the next food's a bit of an odd one. This is the royal jelly, and see here it gives a health and stamina of 15 each. Now this is actually used as an ingredient for other food, but of course it is also something you can eat in and of itself, although not a very good food in the game. Now I just want to say very quickly, there is a slight spoiler coming up, so I'm just going to leave a few seconds here and just keep talking like this, so that if you don't want to see a spoiler, then please do click away now, as this is food related but spoiler related too. So if you are still here, again, you are about to get this spoiler because it's the way that we actually get the royal jelly in the first place. And that is, guys, you have to go into a dungeon, one of the new Mistlands dungeons, and this is of course one of the ways they can look. So inside the dungeon, you will see this right here, royal jelly, and you can just go ahead and pick it up. And from that one vein right there, we actually got 5 royal jelly, and obviously I had one on me already. You'll also disturb these seeker broods as you're going through the dungeon, and if we go ahead and kill a few of these, you'll see you actually get royal jelly from their drops as well. So just going crazy here to killing them and killing their eggs and picking up the royal jelly in the dungeon is the way that you're going to get quite a lot of royal jelly without too much trouble. Now I'm going to finish by talking about the Eitr Foods, and there are 4 of them in the game currently. The mage cap we already looked at, and it gives an Eitr there of 25. So this isn't ideal for getting Eitr, but it could be a quick snack on the go and something you can just find as you're walking around. But then we have 3 others, which are the stuffed mushrooms, and give an Eitr of 75 along with a health of 25 and stamina of 12. We also have the Yggdrasil porridge, which gives an Eitr of 80, so a big one right there, and a health of 27, stamina of only 13. And finally, the Seeker aspic with an Eitr of 85, making it the largest Eitr gain food in the game. And this also gives a health of 28 and a stamina of 14. So in the cauldron at the level 5, we can make the uncooked magically stuffed mushroom, and that requires 3 of the mage caps, a blood clot, and also 2 turnips. You get the blood clots from killing ticks in the Mistlands biome. We can also make up the Yggdrasil porridge in the cauldron level 5, and for that we will need 4 sap, 3 barley, and 2 raw jelly. In order to get the sap, you will need to use a sap extractor on the magical wood that you see in the Mistlands biome. And the Seeker aspic can also be made here, as you can see, again, level 5 cauldron required, and we need 2 Seeker meat, 2 mage caps, and 2 raw jelly. And so that's how you make all these different types of Eitr food. And so that concludes all the different types of food that we can get in the Mistlands update. And I hope this video helped you guys out. If it did, please do consider liking and subscribing for more. But for now, the dad jokes are of course coming. I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. What did the evil chicken lay? Deviled eggs. Did you hear that they arrested the devil? Yeah, they got him on possession. A friend of mine didn't pay his exorcist. He got repossessed. How do you make holy water? You boil the hell out of it. What sound does a witch's car make? Broom broom.